Ever seen two bodies of water that just refuse to mix? This cool phenomenon happens in an estuary, where fresh water flows into the ocean. Because of differences in salinity, a visible boundary forms between the two, almost like they're having a standoff. How does this happen? Well, it's due to density stratification. Think of it like oil and water. Ever tried mixing those? The oil just floats on top because it's lighter than water. Something similar happens with salt water and fresh water. Salt water is heavier due to all that salt, so when it meets fresh water, the two keep their distance, with salt water staying on one side and fresh water on the other. An ocean that's red, it looks incredible, right? But hold up, if you ever see this, run away immediately. This phenomenon is known as red tide. It occurs when algae in the water multiply rapidly, usually due to excess nutrients from sources like agricultural runoff or wastewater. The algae bloom gives the water that striking reddish tint. Getting too close can be risky. Contact with the water might irritate your skin, causing rashes and severe itching. Even worse, some of these algae produce toxins that can contaminate marine life, posing a serious threat to anyone who consumes affected seafood or accidentally ingests the water. Brace yourself as this terrifying icy finger reaches out, touching anything in its path and instantly freezing everything around it. This eerie phenomenon is known as a brinicle. It occurs when ocean water starts to freeze, forcing out the salty portion. This extra salty, super cold water, called brine, is so dense and frigid that it sinks from the icy surface like a massive freezing finger. As this brinicle descends into the water, it freezes everything in its path. It's like a slow-motion freeze ray beneath the ocean. When it finally reaches the seafloor, it spreads out, freezing everything nearby, even the poor tiny sea creatures. This looks awesome. Every time she swims, her movements are followed by an incredible blue glow. But what's happening here, and is it safe? Actually, this phenomenon is caused by bioluminescence, which occurs when there are large concentrations of tiny marine organisms. The most common of these are phytoplankton and dinoflagellates, which are generally safe for humans and produce light. When disturbed by waves, boat movements, or swimming, these organisms emit a bright, glowing light, creating the magical effect of glowing water. Look at this woman swimming through the frothy ocean. But what's causing all this foam? And is it safe? Well, this bubbly spectacle is called sea foam, a natural phenomenon that happens when marine plants, algae, and other organisms break down. As they decompose, they release organic compounds like lipids and proteins into the water, making it less cohesive and easier for bubbles to form. Waves then churn up the water, mixing in air, and just like that, foam appears. While sea foam is usually harmless, it can sometimes carry a fishy or funky smell, but don't worry, for the most part, it's just the ocean putting on a bubbly show.